My girlfriend said, "You're working late again tonight." "This project is big," I said. "Don't overwork yourself." Then I brought her dinner to the office. Her co-workers said she left at 5 p.m. I tracked her location and it pointed to my ex's apartment complex. My name is Ethan. I'm 31. I'm an accountant. My girlfriend, Lauren, is 29, and she works in marketing at a mid-sized tech company in downtown Chicago. We've been together for 2.5 years. Living together for the past 8 years in my apartment, my mortgage, my safe little corner of the world that I thought was ours. First, the late nights didn't bother me. Who doesn't have crazy work weeks? She came home exhausted, her hair in a bun, saying her team just ordered drinks and finished a client presentation. She smelled faintly of alcohol at times. I trusted her, but then everything changed. She stopped talking about her co-workers, stopped complaining about clients. She just came home, said she was exhausted, and fell asleep immediately. Nothing, no laughter, just silence. Thursday night, her text message arrived at exactly 5:34 p.m. like clockwork. "I'm working late again tonight. Big project due tomorrow." I read it 3 times. Something inside me snapped. Not anger, not jealousy, just a quiet certainty. Like I already knew the truth, and my brain was just waiting for my heart to catch up. So I decided to surprise her. I stopped by her favorite Thai place, Lotus, and lime-ordered pad see ew, her favorite, and some spring rolls for the rest of her crew. I thought I'd walk in. She'd light up, everyone would laugh, I'd be the supportive boyfriend. End of story. But it didn't happen. The lobby attendant recognized me. "Good evening, Ethan," he said and waved. I took the elevator to the 8th floor, the marketing department. Quiet, too quiet, no chatter, no typing, just the hum of fluorescent lights and the vacuum. One guy was still there, Chris, a designer on Lauren's team. He looked up from his desk and began. "Hey man," I said, holding up the food, "bringing dinner to the team working on a big project." Chris blinked, confused. "Biggie project. We finished the Morrison launch yesterday. Everyone left around 5. I felt my stomach churn. "Are you sure?" He frowned. "Yeah, we'll have lunch tomorrow." She meant tomorrow night, maybe. I nodded slowly. Yeah, she must have the wrong day. But deep down, I knew she wasn't wrong. I walked out of the building, got into the car, and stared at the takeout bag in the passenger seat. Steam blurred the plastic lid. The smell of basil and soy sauce wafted through the air. For a moment, I actually laughed. A hollow, bitter laugh that didn't sound like me at all. Then I opened Find My iPhone. Lauren and I had shared our location for safety reasons, her idea. "I feel safer knowing you're safe," she said. Her little green dot wasn't in the office, it was across town, Riverside Heights. An apartment complex I knew all too well. That's where Nick, her ex, lived. The same guy she'd sworn to block. The same guy who wouldn't stop texting her when we started dating. I just sat there for a while, staring at that green dot. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I got my takeout and drove. The building looked exactly as I remembered: sleek tile, silver railings, the same row of balconies. Apartment 314. I remembered the number because she'd told me. I have to stop. Nikki keeps trying to drop things off at my old place. Apartment 314. I stood there, staring at the number. My heart was pounding, but my hand was steady. I knocked on the door. It took a few seconds for it to open. Nick stood there, shirtless, a glass of wine in his hand. His eyes were wide as if he'd seen a ghost. "Ethan." "What are you, hey?" I said, my voice so calm it scared even me. "I brought dinner for Lauren's big project." A voice behind him said, "Honey." "Who is it?" And then she was there, Lauren. She was wearing his t-shirt, one I'd never seen before, and shorts that were clearly not hers. Her hair was messy, her face pale. Her eyes met mine, and I swear the air between us froze. "Ethan," she whispered. I can explain. She sent 73 texts that night. 73. I didn't reply to a single one. When I got back to the apartment, the kitchen light was still on, warm, soft. The kind of light that used to make me feel safe. That night, it felt strange. I put my keys down on the counter and sat down at the dining table, staring at the 2 plates we'd used the night before. Her wine glass was still half full. There was a lipstick stain on the rim. I just stared at it for a long time. That tiny red mark suddenly felt like a confession. Then my phone rang again. Text after text. At first, I didn't read them. I couldn't, but she texted so many. My curiosity got the better of me, and I did. It was Ethan. It's not what you think. Please reply. You're overreacting. It's just work. I need to explain. That's all. I'll do anything to fix this. I swear I love you. And so many more messages. I didn't reply, not because I wanted to punish her, but because I had nothing left to say. That night, I slept on the sofa. Or tried to. Every sound in the building grew louder: footsteps in the hallway, the hum of the refrigerator, the ticking of the clock. I kept thinking about the look on her face when she opened that door. Not guilt, not shame, just shock, like she'd been caught in a lie before she'd even finished writing it. By morning, I knew what I had to do. The first thing I did was call building management. Tell them my girlfriend no longer had access to the house. If she shows up, I said, contact me and security immediately. I changed the locks anyway, just in case. My apartment, my mortgage, my name on the papers, everything was legally mine. Lauren had moved in with just a suitcase and a talisman. She had never contributed to the bills, never asked to be added to the lease. It felt romantic at the time. We're a team, she said. What's mine is yours. I used to think it was love. Now it felt like a loophole I was lucky to have. By noon, I'd begun packing her things. Not out of anger, but out of necessity. Every drawer I opened was like turning a page in a story I no longer believed in. Her perfume on the dresser, her coffee mug by the sink, her sweater hanging on my chair. I neatly folded everything, put it in boxes: clothes, asterisk, 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 personal items, asterisk, and miscellaneous, asterisk, asterisk. Then I found the Christmas gift I gave her, a Nintendo Switch. We spent the weekend playing together, laughing until midnight. Now it looked like another relic from a life I didn't recognize. I packed it up anyway. There was a knock on the door on Saturday morning. When I opened the door, security was in the hallway, standing between me and 3 women: Lauren, her sister Megan, and her best friend Sophie. Lauren's face was red and puffy. Mascara was smeared on her cheeks. She looked devastated. Ethan, please. Just 5 minutes, please. I stepped into the hallway, but didn't invite them in. There's nothing to talk about, Lauren. Ethan, please. You lied to me, I said, my voice low. 5 times in 1 week. You were with your ex, not at work. That's not a mistake, Lauren. That's a choice. Megan crossed her arms. She made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Are you really going to waste 2.5 years on one bad decision? I looked at her. If it was just one, maybe, but this is a pattern. Sophie, my best friend, the one who posts about emotional intelligence and expressing peace, took a different tack. She's devastated, Ethan. She hasn't eaten in 2 days. Look at what you're doing to her. What am I doing? I said quietly. I brought her dinner at work. She's not there. She's with her ex. She did that. Lauren started crying harder. It doesn't mean anything. I just need to see him to close the chapter. Then why lie? Silence. I nodded slowly. Exactly. You know what you're doing? She took a shaky breath. I can't believe you're kicking me out. I live here. No, that's not it, I said. You're a guest. You're not paying rent. You're not on the lease. You have no legal recourse. Megan's voice rose. That's an illegal eviction. If she was never a tenant, it's not an eviction. You can. They say silence is powerful. But sometimes, silence is exactly what they use to write your story for you. The Monday after she left, things were quiet. Too quiet. No messages, no calls. Not even a knock on the door. I started thinking maybe it was really over, that she'd finally accepted it. I was wrong by Wednesday morning. My phone started buzzing again, not with her number this time, but with notifications, Instagram mentions, tagged stories, DMS, dozens of them. When I opened one, my stomach dropped. Lauren had posted a long, emotional caption, a picture of her crying on her sister's couch, surrounded by her packed boxes. When you give your heart to someone for years, and they throw you out like trash, I wasn't perfect, but I didn't deserve to be humiliated. I lost everything because I trusted the wrong person. The comments were brutal. People from her friend circle jumped in instantly. You deserve better, babe. Can't believe he did that to you. You gave him everything, and of course, the indirects. Some men love control more than they love people. It didn't take long for mutual friends to message me privately. Bro, what's going on? Lauren saying you kicked her out over a misunderstanding. People are talking. You okay? I didn't respond. Not yet, because in my head, I kept replaying that moment in the hallway, her crying, her sister yelling, her saying, I live here. It all clicked. This wasn't about heartbreak anymore. It was about reputation, hers, and now mine. By Thursday, the rumors spread beyond her circle. One of her friends, Sophie, the empathic one, posted a story. Ladies, if you ever live with a man, make sure your name's on the lease. Some people don't show their true colors until they lock you out. The timing wasn't subtle, and the comments were flooding in again. Half of them tagging me, half of them guessing. That's when I decided, no more silence. I wasn't going to post. I wasn't going to start a war, but I was going to protect myself. I reached out to my lawyer, the same one who handled my condo paperwork, and explained everything. He listened quietly, then said, good thing you kept records. And I had texts, receipts, even the building security reports from that Saturday morning. Every message where she lied about working late. Every proof that she wasn't paying rent or listed as a tenant. He drafted a simple letter, calm, factual, professional. Ms. Lauren Mitchell is to refrain from making defamatory statements about Mr. Ethan Ross, publicly or privately. Any further false claims will result in legal action. We sent it by email and certified mail. Within 24 hours, the posts disappeared. But what came next was worse. Late that night, around 2 a.m., I heard knocking, sharp, frantic, almost desperate. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but it kept going. When I looked through the peephole, I saw her, barefoot, wearing an oversized hoodie, tears streaming down her face. Ethan, please, open the door. I froze. She kept knocking. I messed up, I know, but I can't sleep, I can't eat. I just want to talk. Please. I didn't move. She slid down to the floor, sobbing. You're the only person who ever made me feel like I mattered. Please, Ethan. And then a whisper through the door. I'll do anything to make this right. For a moment, I almost opened it. Almost. But then I remembered those 73 messages. The lies, the manipulation, the posts. I said quietly through the door, Lauren. Go home. Silence. Then footsteps fading away. The next morning, she texted again. You didn't even open the door. After everything, you think you're the victim. You abandoned me. I hope you can live with yourself. And then, you'll see who people believe. That one stayed with me. A week later, I found out what she meant. A fake Reddit post started circulating in one of those relationship drama subs. A story that sounded eerily familiar. Title: My boyfriend kicked me out after I met with my ex for closure. The details were twisted, just enough to make her the heartbroken one and me the cold, controlling villain. It went viral, thousands of comments, sympathy pouring in. Someone even said, if this guy exists, I hope karma finds him. I didn't need to guess who this guy was. At first, I was furious. Then, something strange happened. People started fact-checking her. A few noticed inconsistencies, timelines that didn't match, quotes that sounded rehearsed. And then one user, I'll never know who, posted this. Op, you said you were living there, but you also said he changed the locks. If you were legally a tenant, that's eviction. But if you weren't, it's not. So which is it? The thread turned. The sympathy cracked. She deleted the post within hours. That's when I realized I didn't need revenge. The truth was doing the work for me. A month passed. The noise died down. My phone stopped lighting up with drama. I went back to the gym, started cooking again, even picked up my guitar for the first time in years. And then one evening, while leaving work, I saw her again. Lauren was across the street, sitting on a bench. Alone. No phone, no makeup, just staring into space. Our eyes met for a moment, brief, but enough. There was no anger there anymore, just exhaustion. She looked small, like someone who finally realized the story she wrote didn't end the way she thought it would. I didn't say a word, just walked away, and for the first time since that day at the hotel, I felt something new. Not relief, not pride, peace. Because closure isn't always about an apology. Sometimes it's about learning to stop reopening the door just because someone's knocking. Time doesn't fix everything. It just gives you enough time to figure out what really needs fixing in the first place. It's been a year. A full year since that night, since the knock. The texts, the storm. I didn't think I'd ever move on. For months, I carried the silence like a second skin. I changed my routine, moved, even changed my gym. Gradually, her shadow no longer followed me. Work helped. So did the silence. Every morning, I made coffee, opened the balcony door, and let the noise of the city replace the noise in my head. I no longer hated her. Then, one ordinary Thursday, it all came back. I was at a company networking event, one of those after-work gatherings. My co-worker pulled me aside to meet a new PR partner. She just joined the firm, he said. I turned around, and there she was. Lauren. My first thought was not anger, but disbelief. Her hair was shorter, darker. No eyeliner. No drama, just different. She was stunned too. For a moment, no words came out. Then she managed a small, polite smile. Ethan, wow, it's been a while. Yeah, I said quietly. A year, maybe less. We shook hands, professionally, calmly, and somehow, that was the strangest part. We didn't scream. We didn't cry. Just at people who had hurt each other, now lining up for mini QICHES. Then, when most of the people had dispersed, she approached me. I didn't know you'd be here, she said. I didn't know you were in PR now. She chuckled. Yeah, turns out I'm better at rebuilding brands than rebuilding relationships. I smiled weakly. That's one way to put it. A silence fell. Not the awkward kind, the kind that said there were so many things we could say. But both knew we shouldn't. She looked down at her glass. I heard you moved. Yeah, needed a fresh start. She nodded slowly. I understand. I could have walked away then, but something in her desired, human, honest made me stay. Lauren, I said, I don't hate you. I never did. I'm just bored. Her eyes sparkled. I know, I saw it that night. I just can't bring myself to admit it. For a moment, the noise in the room quieted. It felt like standing in the eye of a storm that had long since passed. She took a breath. I want to apologize, she said. Not for the posts, or the lies, although, yes, for those too, but for not being the person you thought I was. You didn't deserve the way I treated you. It was strange. For months, I'd thought I needed that apology, had rehearsed a dozen ways to respond if I heard it. But standing there, all I felt was peace. Thank you, I said quietly. That means more than I thought. She smiled, soft and sincere. You look better, happier. Yes, I'm glad, she said. Then, after a moment of silence, you've been good to me, Ethan. I didn't realize it then, but I do now. We talked for another minute, more talk, safe topics, polite smiles. Then someone called her name, and just like that, she was gone. No grand finale. No rekindling. No bitterness, just closure, the kind that doesn't come with fireworks. Just a quiet nod between two people who'd finally learned their lesson. That night, I walked home through the city, past the streets we'd once walked together. Everything looked the same, but it didn't feel the same. And that's how I knew healing wasn't about forgetting the person who hurt you. It was about remembering without the pain. When I got home, I made myself a drink, opened the balcony door, and watched the lights flicker on the horizon. Somewhere out there, she was probably doing the same thing, living her own version of peace. And for the first time, I no need to wonder if she misses me, because I don't need to be missed to feel okay. Sometimes the hardest goodbyes aren't the ones you say out loud, but the ones you finally stop to whisper to yourself.